In the shadowy corners of Norse mythology, where prophecy and fear intertwine, lies the tragic tale of Loki's children. We all know Loki, the silver-tongued trickster, the shapeshifter, the god who walked the fine line between friend and foe to the Aesir. But what of his offspring? With the giantess Angrboda, Loki fathered three beings so powerful, so strange, they sent shivers of dread through the halls of Asgard itself. These were not gods in the traditional sense. They were anomalies, portents of chaos, and their very existence was seen as a threat to the cosmic order. First, there was Jörmungandr, the Midgard serpent, cast into the great ocean that encircles the world of mortals. He grew to such an immense size that he could bite his own tail. He became the eternal boundary of the world, a monstrous, silent guardian of the deep. His fate was to lie in wait, coiling in the darkness, until the final day of Ragnarok, when he would rise from the sea to face his ultimate nemesis, Thor. Then came Fenrir, the great wolf. At first, he was just a pup, brought to Asgard and raised among the gods. But Fenrir grew at an alarming rate, his strength and ferocity becoming more apparent with each passing day. The gods, seeing the prophecy of destruction in his gleaming eyes, became terrified. They tried to bind him, first with chains of iron, which he shattered with ease. They tried again with a stronger chain, but he broke that too. Their fear grew into a desperate resolve. They turned to the dwarves, who forged a magical ribbon, Gleipnir, made from impossible things: the sound of a cat's footfall, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain. Fenrir was suspicious. He would only allow the gods to place the ribbon on him if one of them placed their hand in his mouth as a sign of good faith. Only the bravest of the gods, Tyr, the god of war and justice, dared to step forward. As Gleipnir tightened and Fenrir realized he was trapped, he snapped his mighty jaws shut, severing Tyr's hand. The wolf was bound, his howls of betrayal echoing through the nine realms, a promise of vengeance that would one day be fulfilled. And finally, there was Hel, the third child. Unlike her monstrous brothers, her appearance was unsettling in a different way. One half of her body was that of a beautiful woman, while the other was the decaying, blue-black flesh of a corpse. Odin, seeing her, didn't cast her into an ocean or bind her in chains. Instead, he banished her to the deepest, darkest realm, the land of the dead. He made her its queen. She was given dominion over all who died of sickness or old age, ruling from her desolate hall, Eljudnir. She became the somber, inevitable fate for most of humanity, a lonely monarch in a kingdom of shadows. So, why were these children treated with such fear and hostility? It all comes back to prophecy. The seers foretold that Loki's children would be instrumental in the downfall of the gods during Ragnarok. Jörmungandr would poison Thor, Fenrir would devour Odin himself, and Hel's role remained shrouded in grim mystery, her army of the dead a terrifying prospect. The Aesir's actions, born of fear, were attempts to control their destiny, to avert the apocalypse they saw coming. But in trying to prevent the prophecy, they may have sealed their own fate. They created the very monsters they feared by treating these children not as beings to be understood, but as weapons to be contained. Their cruelty and paranoia fueled the rage of Fenrir, deepened the darkness of Hel's realm, and ensured the Midgard serpent would rise with venomous fury. The story of Loki's children is a stark reminder that sometimes the very steps we take to avoid our destiny are the ones that lead us directly to it. Thank you for joining us on Tales from the Veil. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more journeys into the heart of mythology. Until next time, stay curious.